Today on Pathways to Success, we will be interviewing Mr. Danny Browne and also Mr. Trevor Skatta Bonnick. When Danny Browne sang on his first recording over 45 years ago, he never thought that it would have led to such an illustrious career in music. Danny, the youngest of 5 musically talented siblings, soon realized that becoming a musician was inevitable. His mother and brothers ensured he could play several instruments as well as sing. This early foundation and dedication has led him to playing on numerous recordings with music icons such as Jimmy Cliff, Bunny Wailer, Buju Banton, Sean Paul, Shabba Ranks, Barris Hammond, Freddie McGregor, Marcia Griffith, and many more. In the early 1980s, Danny became co-founder, guitarist, and producer of the Bloodfire Posse, an international chart-topping band that eventually secured a recording deal with the CBS Records, now Sony Records, in the United Kingdom. He developed his production skills, producing songs for numerous major recording labels and working with superstars like Puff Daddy, Beyonce, Pitbull, Billy Ocean, Maxi Priest, Backstreet Boys, and others. In 1992, Danny started his own record label, Main Street Records, producing artists such as General Degree, Lieutenant Stitchie, Papa San, Mr. Vegas, Beanie Man, Red Rat, Lady G, Richie Stevens, T.O.K., Garnet Silk, among others. During the height of his career in 1998, Danny answered a call from God and surrendered his life to the King of Kings. He currently produces mainly gospel music and is credited for his contribution in bringing to prominence gospel artists such as Prodigal Son, Mr. Gotti Gotti, DJ Nicholas, Junior Tucker, Chevelle Franklin, Ryan Mark, Jason Mighty, and Mr. Gallimore. Today, Danny continues to write and produce songs for mainly gospel artists, as well as writes and produces radio jingles and voiceovers. There are many words that can describe Trevor Skatta Bonnick. Initiative, passionate, and durable are just a few. Skatta is currently the lead singer of the internationally renowned Inner Circle band, which has given the world such smash hits as Sweat and Bad Boys. Since doing his first recording in 1983, at the famed Music Mountain studio in Jamaica, Skatta has managed to stay at the forefront of his musical innovation in his birthplace and beyond. As a keyboardist and vocalist with a rough cut, what could justifiably be called the preeminent backing band in the dancehall era, Skatta was a seminal figure in the sampling innovations which led to the fresh and distinctive sound. Skatta credits crooner and musician Boris Gardner as the man who opened his eyes to the world of music as a business. Skatta struck up a lasting friendship with Danny, a member of the famed Browne clan, arguably the most accomplished set of musical siblings ever to emerge from the Jamaican soil. Despite his current engagement with Inner Circle, Skatta is officially a member of Rough Cut and performs with the band whenever the opportunity should present itself. Despite his considerable touring obligations, Skatta will not let go of his passion for recording and continues his collaborations with various artists and musicians across a spectrum of genres. His most notable recent recordings are compiled in a soon-to-be released EP. The single, We Are Having Fun, not only reflects Skatta's attitude towards his craft, but our response to his musical output throughout the years. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the Pathways to Success, David Browne and Trevor Skatta Bonnick.
Wow. Good evening. Welcome to Pathway to Success. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Hunter, and I have 2 musical geniuses on stage right here at Pathway to Success. We have Mr. Danny Browne. He's right there in Jamaica, virtually. And I have sitting to my right, Mr. Trevor Skatta Bonnick. I almost said Shutter, but I corrected that one. And I said Skatta. And it's an honor to have you both here on Pathway to Success. But we're going to start with Mr. Danny Browne, because you're all the way there in Jamaica. What inspired you at an early age to to pursue music?
When I started music from the moment the doctor said push, the doctor I came out singing, and and so it's it's been a journey for me. You know, I'm the youngest of five siblings who are all musicians, and obviously, and well, even beyond that, my grandfather used to play every instrument. My mother plays every instrument. She was the leader of our New Testament choir. She taught us to sing very early as a family group. We'd gather around and sing, and she taught us musical notes. She taught us everything, you know, to give us, and she gave so which gave us a foundation. Being the youngest of the five, um, seeing my brothers, you know, all of them, you know, started out, you know, amateurs, and obviously as they grew, each one of them migrated into some professional career in music. And you know, it go when you're the youngest, you want to follow what your brother them do, cause that them do, and so we wanted to do it. Plus the fact that my father provided for us instruments that we would, from day one, my living room, we never even had a center table, we had a drum set. We had access to instruments, and as a result, you know, musicians were always at my home. As a little kid growing up, when I'm in the nappy, people like Keith and Tex. You know, if you know Keith and Tex, Stop That Train, I Want to Get On, Derek Harriott, Bob Andy was always a fixture at my home. So I grew up around music constantly, and so it was inevitable for me. And you know, I can't. It's a lot. It's a whole long story. So I'm going to try to cut it short. Because of that foundation, I was almost certain to become a musician, which I did. Plus, my uncle them, everybody played an instrument, so it was just inevitable for me. I couldn't fight it. It was just destiny.
It was your destiny. Your brothers, are any of them currently doing music right now?
Yes, man. Yeah, man. All of my brothers. Well, I lost a brother recently, daughter. But let me tell you about daughter. My eldest brother is Glenn Browne. He's a bass player. He started out with Jimmy Cliff. He used to be on the North Coast in the hotel circuit. He went through that. And if you know about the Red Hills Road days when he had the Tit for Tat and Turntable Club, and those days when the bands were emerging, he was a band leader in a club called the Penthouse. And they used to give with Sly and Robbie used to be on the same strip. Almost all musicians at the time, Boris Gardner, everybody was a part of that whole thing. So he was a bass player. He eventually emerged as a bass player for Ziggy Marley, the Melody Makers, and then he went on to Jimmy Cliff. Then after Jimmy Cliff, I think it was who was after Jimmy Cliff? I don't remember. But it was Tyrus Riley up to this year since the pandemic. He had to retire from that, from the touring thing. But he's a bass player. He's well renowned in Jamaica, and he plays even now as a studio musician for a lot of recordings. Chronics, some of Chronics hit song. He's the bass player on those songs. You know, so he's one of them that's constantly working and developing. My other brother Clevie from Steely and Clevie, the creators of the people says they make dancehall. So they started the whole dancehall phenomenon with King Jammies. So Clevie is my brother also, he's a drummer.
Wow.
Yeah man. So they were very, very much instrumental in what's going on. And currently, you know, a lot of the big hit songs coming out of Jamaica, the whole of Shabba Ranks, if you look at Shabba Ranks' career, you hear the trailer loads, all those songs from Punani, all those big songs. That was Steely and Clevie, running the whole 80s into 90s. I have a brother named Dalton who died last year, a year before, last year. He was the musical director for Freddie McGregor. We used to call him Batty and Bench because everywhere you see Freddie McGregor, it's a Dalton. You know, one of them man was and he was a guitarist, and he was the one who was taught me to play guitar. So he was one of my eldest brother. He gave me my first guitar to play and so on. And as a professional musician, he also plays for everybody, you know, touring to everyone. And I have a brother named Noel. He's now living in England. He is responsible for a lot of success. He's a producer, keyboard player, and quite successful in his own way, in his own right. And then
I would just say something that you in all this that you're telling me, you remind me of the Jackson Five.
we we were actually, I want to tell you, we started out as a singing group, and we were actually known as Jamaica Jackson 5. That's in the early 70s. We're the same age like the Jackson 5. 5 brothers, same sort of setup. Same thing. And thankfully for a minute, I was Michael. Skatta, you can have vexed in a bus. I was Michael.
You're Michael, you're Michael.
But one of the times,
Yes.
he wanted me to be Michael. You know?
Yeah, really?
In right and
Right,
song. If you understand where I name,
Hey, Michael. Hey, Michael, when will you be back?
I don't be singing like Michael, Reggie.
So you have a soprano sounding voice like Michael?
Back then.
No, I had to give it up, you know, because I had the voice, I had the Michael voice, but to change, so I have to drop a Bridget. I said, Bridget, help you out, the man, but sing that song up. So, yeah.
So you're able to sing like Michael Jackson.
Not no.
What a change? Come on.
So my first recording, you know, my first recording I sang and I was about 10. So I was really a little youth singing like Michael Jackson. I mean, at the time when we started, you know, we used to be on TV quite a lot. And we were just a young group coming up. A producer named Jeffrey Chung and his brother Mikey Chung produced us. And that's why him sort of solidified my entry into music business, because I entered at a high level. At 8, 9 years old, 10 years old, going into studio with people like, you know, the great Wire Lindo from Whalers, Robbie Lynn, who is still currently one of the top keyboard players in Jamaica. You know, the Mikey Boo was the drummer with Whalers after Carly. All these people, we were introduced to music at that high level, plus the production team. So our exposure sort of helped us to catapult us into what is now our career. That's where we are now. We gained professional knowledge from an early age. So, you know, from that, and I remember being at JC, I went to Jamaica College, and I remember at JC and Third World came and played a concert. I'm a youth, you know, and I saw Cat Court, and man, that solidified my whole thing. I said, you know what, Mom, Dad, this is it. I'm going to be a musician. No way around it. As I was planning to do other stuff, you know, my father was a builder, a construction builder, and I said I want to be like my father. But when I saw Cat Court, I decided, oh, no. This is my life. I was already playing guitar, and when I heard him, I said, I want to be like that. You can look behind me and see the guitar and pile up. I'm a guitarist. That's my main instrument. It's not a backdrop, it's a real thing.
Thank you for letting me know. I was looking at it back there. But,
Yeah,
so you went to JC because I was going about. We have back studio a former high school mate of yours back here shouting because you said you went to JC. So you know that's a powerful.
Big up yourself.
But what are some of the Mr. Danny Browne? What are some of the biggest hits that you have had, or some of the artists that you have worked with that you have been instrumental in bringing them out to become popular, famous artists that we celebrate today? Who are some of those names?
The shorter list is who I didn't work with. I think it's much shorter than the ones that I worked with. But I've worked with almost everybody who is involved in reggae music, in Jamaican music. At some level, I've participated in either playing on their recordings or producing them, or or touring with them, whatever it may be. But I've played with, as you heard in my bio, I mean, I've played with Jimmy Cliff, I've played with Shabba Ranks, I've played with I can't bother with that. The only person I never played with Bob Marley because I was too young, I think, and Peter Tosh. But I think almost everybody, if you're talking about Half Pint, if you're talking about, just name them. I've played on recordings with them or produced them at some level.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Which one of them you considered the most fun working with? I know you work with Shabba Ranks, who's one of my favorite artists. I hear you mention Half Pint, and there was another one they mentioned. Which one of them you really enjoyed working with that you think that really had a great professionalism that impacted your music?
Let me tell you something. For me, I'm not going to say I have a favorite because I enjoy making music. It's also the truth. I enjoy it. It's when it comes to Jamaican music, it's when it comes to dancehall music, any form of Jamaican music, I'm 100% sold out to that music. So usually when we are in studio, it's pure joy. Whichever musicians playing together, once it's live, it's just pure joy. I enjoyed my time. I used to do sessions on tour with Sly and Robbie. And every time we're in studio, Robbie and I became very close friends. You know, and every time we're in studio, it's just pure joy. It just feel good. So whatever artist is there, we'll bring them into our feeling, you know, whatever that good feeling is, and they'll adapt the feeling, and then you find them, you know, becoming part of that whole fun and joy. And the good thing about it, because of the professionalism, you know, we could almost, I don't want to say dictate, but the working relationship was one of, you know, I would say, honor. Because they knew that what we were telling them made sense. We could communicate in musical language, you know, a musical language which, you know, many producers may not necessarily be able to do, because, you know, in Jamaica you have a lot of persons. I don't want to sound disrespectful, but some are just investors. But you have the real producers, the musical ones, who can tell a singer, change a note, you know, change the key to make the presentation better. Let them write the songs, change the melodies, or, you know, that sort of thing. So when we go into them, most of these persons, it's always a joy to be able to enter into that creative space and to see the result at the end of the day and the high regard. But if I was to name a few of them, I mean, in studio, people like Papa San, in studio, people like Richie Stevens, in studio, people like, let me see, Junior Tucker. I mean, you know, we became like family. We found that, you know, our whole production atmosphere is always just full of joy, you know, full of, you know, that presentation where people say, wow, you know. I like the humility of people like Jimmy Cliff, very humble, you know, inclusive. You do things, work with him, you feel like family. You don't ever feel like, you know, you're out there, you know, you have people like Tony Rebel and these guys, great presence, you know. So it's always, to me, it's always joy. You know, I worked at Maxi Priest, one of his last project for Virgin Records, and that was so much joy going through the stages of the recording, the production stages, that, you know, you develop a new sense of what's that word I'm looking for now? You know, you have ratings for somebody and it just start going up. You say, man, it's very adaptive, man. Tell you, man, big turn up, man. I tell you.
Yeah, that's what I said. Turn up.
Yeah, man.
Mr. Skatta said something to me earlier on that you're the first one that causing for travel and plane. And I was wondering, because there's a lot of Jamaicans who want to get a visa. So I'm saying to myself, when I hear him say that message to myself, then I have to really ask you if you how did you got connected with Trevor, and what happened from then?
Man, hey, Skatta, you know, so I don't remember how me link up. I don't remember, but it was early days.
Yeah, I'm even telling the father, you forgot to say, we used to work at the garage up on Manning Road, yeah, and I used to carry your BMW come straight. He used to be the preparation one down the side. You forgot? I hear a BMW me could get to spray Carl Rabbit, and then like a Civic, Benji, what that, Caroline, them time.
The big time.
But them time, whenever that thing said, that father me was saying, I'm going to be a part of the group.
Yeah, man.
I was working and then I just drive past one day and pull up and say, I want to do where I'm very, and I talk to my virgin who was the spray man, and me as the preparation man. And I saw, we get to know Danny, Danny, a part of the fire. Back then, at that time, about like the 80s, early 80s.
Early 80s.
Yeah.
And so he's the one that really found you, that you step into music.
Yeah, we just tell him, say, well, you know, so we're, you know, because we have another virgin named Derek, I think that sing to and I say, yo, we know, so we are singing where and I said, yeah, come check me over the school and kind of a student to my mother house and thing, one at a time.
One at a time. It must have been very small because it's one at a time. You don't know what that means.
When me tell you, like a one at a time studio, you'll be surprised. Yeah, let me tell you.
One
Well,
at a time.
in a little room, there's a little back room. I have a little toilet to the side. It's like you see, oh me, you know, song oh me, oh my. You know, song.
So you want to tell me, Daddy, Skatta
Yeah.
said original voice to the shower? Is this true?
I'm tell you, not true. Well, you have a big song named Oh Me, Oh My by Garnet Silk.
Right.
Right in front of the toilet, that's on the voice. You have a right in the little room with the car. We never have no space. We just put a little screen in front of it, make him no seat, and put the mic. And knock down the song them. No for Papa San sang them. Maddy Maddy Cry and
It's right there too. That
yeah man.
small studio.
Yeah man. Oh, you don't know the history. Okay, we have to tell the history, man, because
Tell me the history, man, because that small studio, one at a time.
hello,
Oh.
let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something, man. The whole but amount of things happening in that studio, you'll be surprised. That little box right there. So we started out. Well, first of all, let me tell you about Bloodfire Posse, because after we met Skatta, you know, we had this group, Bloodfire Posse, with Paul Blake, and you know, if you ever heard that. So it was my first time doing production. So Bloodfire started out as a little group. We used to do some like stage show here and there, and we decided, Paul, you know, used to hang out at my house, and we wanted to do a song. I said, yeah, man. So I said, boy, we have ideas, so we start trying my production. And the very first song we produced, is a song called Rubber Dub Soldier. This song mashed up the place, #1 on every chart. The very first attempt at production. And this song done the place. And after that, we said, well, and this thing look nice. We like it. You know, nice. You know, because we're youth, you know. Let's try it. Then we do the next song named Every Posse Get Flat.
Oh, I remember that one too.
Mash up the place again. And we dropped the Pink Panther right behind it. And immediately we got signed. That's how we got signed to Sony. You know, we got a recording contract and we went on tour. We're touring all over Europe, and you know, the youthfulness and everything there.
So hold on, what you said to the viewers, because this is inspirational, because you got signed in that what is studio? One at a time studio. All these music that I grew up to love and was dancing to, and my friends was enjoying it, and the whole world was done in that studio. That studio.
No, not the Bloodfire, not the Bloodfire thing, you know. I'm telling you what we get. I'm going to get to the studio now, because that first song we did, the studio that Rubber Dub Soldier done is worse than One at a Time. That boy, you know how that song record? That song record with, you know about DJ Squeeze?
Yeah.
DJ Squeeze, that Jamaican DJ. He was playing on a sound system. We borrowed some equipment off the sound system. And one of my brethren had a little studio, just a try setup. And we're carrying the disco equipment going there. And hook up some little wire, and record the song. Record the song with a little drum machine with one output.
Oh.
But that's another story again, because it's a long story, you know. Because it was, I remember I created the rhythm for Rubber Dub Soldier. And at the time, Bob Marley had just died, and I was rehearsing with I3s. They were doing an album with Tom Bell. And I was like helping them to go through the vocals thing. And I found the drum machine at Judy Mowatt house. She don't know what to do with it, nobody know about it. And I start messing with it and start program till I programmed the Rubber Dub Soldier beat, and Master Griffiths turned to me and said, Danny, that nice, man. Because them days we don't know about drum machine, you know. It's the first drum machine we ever knew can program and make a beat. Never knew about it. And play till we make the beat. And so the Rubber Dub Soldier thing comes to be.
Wow.
Because she encouraged, because she a big star to me, you know, me a little youth. And that encouragement, but go hook up the whole equipment and look at my brethren, because things we might try set up. But hey, when we set the board all in us, Skatta, me I tell you, all in us. Both of them up. And yeah, man, and with them days we young, when we have much money, we borrow one of my brethren tape. I beg him a space for him tape, because tape we used to record them days there. I beg him a space for him tape. Just go to school. We're not even out of school yet. We're still at school as man. I'm
School at that time.
Yeah, man, high school, man, probably all the way. I think we're just transitioning. I don't remember, but just out of school. And we made that beat, And the song, I mean, the first time that song playing, Bridget, is a song clash with Barry G and David Radigan, you know. Time Barry G was the man. And we say when Barry G draw the song by David Radigan, you know about Cinema 2? They used to have some stage shows at Cinema 2. And the man wrecked David Radigan, you know. And this David Radigan take the song to England, get a copy of it and go to England, and turn it up in England, and England spoil. We say, and it's some blood fire bus, the whole thing, because those first people were hearing this computer sound in reggae. It never existed. This is way before slang thing and everything, you know. So it's just, you know, and so it started a little phenomenon, and it grew and grew, and as we, you know, we progressed. So that time now we start to have a little money. So me go buy my little board now, but me don't have nowhere to live.
Lot of money, Danny, because you drove up in a BMW at that time.
Yeah, man, it's an old BMW, man. It's a BMW. That's why it was spray, you know, because
That's what I spray.
spray, man. It's old, man. But you can't, you know, humble beginnings, man. We have to start somewhere. So anyway, buy the little board. You know, the first time we go up and buy a little cassette board, the 4-track, and anyway, I end up with a bigger board now. And boy, my mother had this little back room. I'm just big ass this space. And so now we can, I said, boy, this place is small, one at a time can come in. So we call the studio one at a time, and we just christen it. Because seriously, you know, one person can come in at a time, you know, you can't have the crowd in it. So it's and the first song I recorded in that studio was a song named Granny by General Degree.
Oh, I love that song. Oh, yes.
That was my first recording when I started Main Street. My label was Main Street. So that was the very first song I put out on Main Street. And the song done the place again. And General Degree became a big artist. Then the second song I did was a song called Oh Me Oh My by Garnet Silk.
The Garnet Silk, yes. That's
Right in the toilet, same place. And then we had Papa song with Strange Things Are Happening, Granny Granny Cry. You know, we had Papa songs with Flow and them. Run Girl Run, the one for the man that come, them whole song there. A whole heap of songs, man, recorded right there. So.
Okay, that's something, the quality, you'd never know it's a small studio. You'd think that it's one of the state-of-the-art studio because the quality that came out was just so great that if you never told me this, I would never, I was picturing a huge studio.
That I think helped to encourage, because a lot of persons have come to me and say is when I made that move, because I was the first one in my family to make the move to go studio, because that was always my ambition to grow in the music industry, you know, through all the eras in the industry. And when I did that, a lot of young musicians saw that it was possible. And people started saying, you know what, we'll start saving money and invest in studios also. So during that period of time, when Main Street came out and we started to find that level of success, you know, I ended up now transitioning from that into a big complex now. We had the big Main Street studio, and just now when they had the Red Rats and the Goofies and, you know, all these people, it became a bigger thing in Jamaica. And, you know, that was a big studio thing. And, you know, again, another era in dancehall emerged out of that whole thing. So.
But suddenly, I mean, you how many countries have you traveled with?
Me?
Yes, so far.
I can't count, but I've done most of Europe. I've done parts of South America. I've done, well, Japan. Of course, almost every state in the USA. Canada, Caribbean, most of the Caribbean. Where have I not been? I've not been to Australia.
Right.
But I've been to most, as I said, most of Europe, you know. And from time to time, because again, during that whole period of time, because I'm a musician, I ended up playing also for most of the prominent producers at the time. You know, so there's a lot of involvement as musician for Bobby Digital, as musician for Gussie Clark, Donovan Jeremy at Penthouse. So enough of the Buju Banton sang them and the musician and them. Enough of the, trust me, you name them. I was here during the 80s.
Danny, I bet you don't remember when this world I carried Damien to my studio and I beg you for recording.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man.
That's Damien's mother.
Damien Junior Gone.
That's Cindy Bricks. Is it
What's her
Cindy
name?
Bricks?
Cindy.
That's
Yeah,
Cindy,
man.
yeah. Uh-huh.
I remember, man. She carried me every day from
Yeah,
Danny.
man.
No, I
So
record.
that's Damien Marley.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
That's why the first person recorded him. A matter of fact, keep him, and then right after him, Taros Riley. Those people don't even know that. Taros Riley tell is me turn him in a singer. He was a DJ. He wanted to DJ and we try DJ like Buju them. Right now, work out.
Everybody wanted the voice like Buju Banton. But he wanted to sound like Buju.
Whoever the hot artist is, most of the youth they want to sound like the hot artist. So,
Yes.
but he was a singer. I heard the talent. I heard him, you know. I said, no, man, my youth, you're a singer. I encourage him to start.
Well, you have heard my voice. I don't know if you can be able to help me musically. To tell me, you see to me.
And if you can handle the truth, you can talk to me, guys. I'm that person. I'm telling the truth. Tell yourself, I don't play a thing, man, talent. If you're not good, I'm going to tell you straight up. Find something. Yeah, man. So don't test me, you know.
I know that's not don't test me. We're no put you over. Remember that song?
Yeah. Don't test it.
Yeah.
He play a song.
Is that English?
Is that English song, right?
Yeah.
No, man. I don't know. No, man, that's what's good. Deborah Glasgow.
Trying to push me over.
Right.
It's from England. Is that girl from England?
Glasgow.
Yeah, I think you produce her to Danny.
No, I played with him.
With the rough with the blood fire. It was the blood fire.
I want to go to
Okay. So let me tell you a story. No, man, it's Gussie Clark, man. It's Gussie Clark.
Yeah, Gussie Clark. Yeah.
Let me tell you. What happened, you know, I used to play for Sly and Robbie as a guitarist, and I also play for Steely and Clevie. And then we tell you, I'm the and in Steve. So you have Steely, and that was me, and Clevie was my brother. So they had a team. So when they go to studios, they take me along. I'll be the musician, the guitarist. You know, so that are the big productions and so on. One day I went to studio and Steely didn't show up. But I had a little Casio keyboard in the back of my car. And the producer insisted he wanted to do this session. So anyway, Clevie said, Danny, just go for it. Come back and try and make this session happen. So I'm a guitarist now. Everybody knows me as a guitarist. So at first I take out this keyboard and also Clevie and myself going to make a track for this thing there. So the first track me ever play a keyboard on, played that thing was a song named Kingston 13 by Pinchers. You know a song, Skatta? I think I send them butter. Come we come. Yeah, man, the song was the first song I played and it mashed up the place. So nobody never knew me as a thing there. Then we play another song now. Every day I love you just a little bit more.
I remember that song. A good song.
So we start playing keyboard and start post-planting there. Then we call rumors them spreading.
Hey, Danny, what about that rumors there? Remember the rumors wasn't a song one of the plan final. Me did that.
You did that? Me need a witness. I need a witness.
You, Dalton and Clevie.
Yeah.
Them a bus place.
Yes.
Right. They're tune up.
Yeah.
And Gussie come in and hear.
Uh-huh.
And say, yo, what up? More of that rhythm there.
Yeah, man.
I think it was Greg Aggs that did that song, right?
Rumors, Greg put a song on name Rumors. A lot of people there.
Yeah, man. Telephone Love was one of the big songs on it too.
Right. I remember Telephone Love. Uh-huh.
So that's how I started.
Yeah.
And that's why I started to play a track for people. People started to call me to play, tracks for them. So I ended up playing, man, thousands. It feel like thousands of tracks. You know, Walk Like a Champion with Buju Banton, Movie Star, all of them songs. You know, so I became a sought after musician after a while. You know, and in some ways it came out of frustration when Bloodfire was the group almost broke up. Just the transition during that period when Skatta came on board. I wanted to.
I was like a steel. I already did all over the place.
So when you came on board, Bloodfire.
No, Bloodfire was there enough.
Right.
But as I said, I was rubbing down cars.
Oh yes, yeah.
When them have them show me, they have on the side and watch them and them parlor, do them thing, right. You know. I can't know how I tune them when I listen to the song them when I, you know what I mean? Then, but you know, I fall around the thing. So
Yeah.
we just follow Danny everywhere, my boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. So what happened? We had some disagreements while on tour. Because we had a deal and youthful exuberance. Because the truth is that it never needed to happen. But mad people start to make you start trip. Because we start make money now and man start feel like who's a superstar and them things there. And me not play that something. You know? And so we had a falling out. So we didn't have a lead singer. Because we had a separation with Paul Blake, who was the lead singer, and invited Skatta immediately. Because Skatta was the natural fit.
Wow, Skatta. Tell it.
Everything.
Just came in and take the thing to the next level.
To the next level. They were telling man, Skatta got coming now, and so Bloodfire now found a new gear. And we started drop some song with Skatta with this fresh new sound again, and immediately, and of course, it was all about the girls. Because you know already, we're up on stage, you know, some shirt, some see-through shirt, and one like.
One time I was the tailor forgot to make up your shirt, my shirt,
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, I was so
Skatta is very gifted, man. Very talented.
Skatta. Why do you give him Skatta?
Yeah, but we'll get that name. Tell me. I'll get that name.
Skatta. The man Skatta all over anything. Skatta is
Everywhere, mama girl. Everywhere, mama girl. Well, not now. No, let's start it for public. What hearing from I'm hearing all this though. And so that during that time we had harmony and love within the music. And you have been the catalyst for many of these great musicians and singers that we have grown up on. What is the problem? One of the things I would love to ask you, what is the current situation? What are we facing now in our music in Jamaica? Because the quality that we're used to, I'm not seeing quality talents, whether it be dancehall artists. I have to be honest, I know we're in a different time and everything changed and we're in the millennium time, but we're not seeing the quality product of music being produced anymore from there. What is that?
Simply put, the producer has become an unnecessary middleman. Yep. He has become unnecessary because the availability of technology now, everybody have technology, and therefore you can cut and paste anything you want. So with most of the producers today don't even call a musician anymore because everything is ready-made and all them have to splice it together. So what you find is no quality control because the person doing it don't have any musical knowledge necessarily. I'm not saying all cases it is so, but in some cases they don't have the musical knowledge. And so you find that they're putting things together, and most of these things are derived from something foreign. It's not a Jamaican experience. So they take a foreign beat or whatever they call it. What they call it nowadays, trap beat. They take a lot of trap beats and put them together, and then they, what if they want to sing or DJ, use auto-tune, and then they put some things together. The credit I'll give to these guys doing it. Lyrically, a lot of them are very good enough, even when I'm singing bad man lyrics, whatever it is. So in terms of poetry, they have evolved and they've come at better than our older artists in terms of them ability to write songs. Because of course it comes out of exposure. You know, so they're talking about things that, you know, they get exposed to on the internet. Back in the day, we were, you know, in a box in Jamaica. So a man lived down at Maxfield, he knew about Maxfield Avenue Corner, and he would sing about that till the day he died. Because, you know, that's why I know. Because of the availability of information nowadays. And them youth, when they sing something, they say, wow, them youth, where them get that information from? But the challenge to it, however, is that they use it, in most cases to me, for a negative purpose. Because when the songs are put together, I mean, I'm not asking everybody to do uplifting songs, guys. I never did it myself. I did a lot of songs that were playful, happy, and, you know, make people want to dance and have fun. No, I have no problem with that. But I think nowadays there's no quality control. There's nobody with, as I said, with us as producers, we could control a session, determine what is going to go out. Nowadays, the artist makes all decisions. He decide which track he's going to sing on. He's going to decide, as a matter of fact, he'll take a track from a producer and take it to his own studio and voice whatever I feel like, and the producer can't say nothing.
Wow.
That doesn't happen to me. That don't work with me. That's zero. I have zero tolerance for that. I need to do my production. I need to know what's going on it. I want to be able to be involved in how you're going to sing the song, how you're going to interpret the lyrics, and how genuine you sound when you're singing it. Because you can't be singing a sad song and I'm feeling happy, or singing a happy song and I feel sad. It don't work, you know. And there are other little elements they will call musical modes. You know, most of the songs them nowadays sound sad or sound dangerous because of the mode that the music is being played in. The songs that Jamaican music has become a sad music. It's like more reflective and sad, or you know, or if you feel scared. While we nowadays we used to make music that make you feel happy. You know, we hear songs like "Feel the Load," come on, you just want to dance. You know, if songs that make you just up, you know, feel up, bright like sunshine. Songs that nowadays sound like dark and wet like rain and fall all the while, and the place was blue. It's true.
Well, what you're saying is so true. But you made a transition, though. You made a big transition from the secular to the gospel. How hard was that? Because well, I'm going to ask you this question because I've seen many artists that have transitioned from secular who are not, who are finding it hard financially right now. They recognize that that move is a different move. How did you came and what brought about your transformation when you gave your life to Christ and decided to start working with Christian artists?
It was somewhat a conscious decision. For me, it unlike most people continue to find themselves in trouble and they decide they need God. You know, for me, I just simply started to go to church to support my children. I grew up going to church. You know, most of us in Jamaica, your mother make you go to church. Right. So you grew up understanding church thing. And I decided as him as a record producer, there was hypocrisy in my life. The songs I was making, I wouldn't play it for my children. It was, you know, even though I wasn't making the slackness what they're making nowadays, I still wouldn't want to play certain content for my children. I was being a hypocrite. So I started go, you know, get my children to church and I go there to support them. And one day a message just reached where the disciples asked Jesus, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And you know what Jesus said to them? That's in Matthew 18. Jesus said to them, Jesus called all the youth and said, youth, come here. And youth come to Jesus. Jesus looked at him and said, if you don't change and become like one of these little children, you'll never enter the kingdom of God. I mean, that thing that echoing in my mind, because it was the humility of the child coming to him. Big man call you. You know we stay. Big man call you. You can't call big man. Jesus just call you, just run, come. Your kids stay. He must say you have to humble yourself like a little child to even enter the kingdom. Me, you know, I wasn't humble because guess what? Them days I have money. I make money. I'm responsible for myself. You know, I don't need nothing from nobody. So you feel, you understand? Not that I didn't have that ego, you know. But I was very comfortable knowing that I could, you know, manage my family and do what I needed to do. And that day, when that thing echoed in my mind, I decided that day, I need this. I'm not going to turn my back on God because me feel like me. Humble yourself like a little youth and just answer the call. And that day I answered the call, and that was from what, 1980, so rubbish, 1998. And I've not looked back since. So and that time was at the top of my game. Them time like songs like Head's Eye, Kill Them With The No was big and mashing up the whole world. You know, I'd record deals. Goofy was signed to BMG. Red Rat was about to be signed to RCA Records. I had the contract on my desk and I leave everything just like that. I had a whole heap of money, you know. And I remember that day I made that decision and realized it took me a little while to realize that I couldn't continue in secular music because I wasn't party to what was being the lyrical content. I couldn't continue doing it because it was even more hypocritical to me. Telling the man to go want to, you know, who songs, other songs were appropriate for my lifestyle. I never want that. So I made a decision. I just gave it up. I gave up everything. I just walked. I didn't know what I was going to do. And I left everything flat. And the most difficult part of it was to tell them guys that I can't go no more. Because if anybody knew Main Street, we were like family. You know, I was never a piggyback producer. I wasn't the one going to run down for a voice, Bounty Killer and voice all this. You think that most of my artists were artists that I developed from scratch. A lot of them were little kids. Met them like at the studio gate. You know, you brought them up and you see the success. You saw them gain success. You see man start buy them house. You see man have car and the success start come. And then one day, perhaps it must got them and say, Bridget, can't do it no more. You know, I was their manager, I was their producer, everything. And I had to do that. And so when I cut that supply, it felt like I was stifling myself as well as stifling the youth, you know? Right. And it was the most difficult thing. Plus, I stopped doing music in order to pursue Christ. Because here what happened to me now. Sorry, my talk won't be here soon. But here what happened to me now. I had to know Christ for myself, but this I said, me not going to be a man who go to church, feel a pastor said. I need to get to the root of it. So you know what I did? But stop everything and read the Bible like a book from start to finish. So when I open my mouth and I come forward, nobody can tell me, say, me now wait for pastor to tell me what Christ said, what God said. Yeah. And I understand it and study it and go through the whole process, exegete with everything necessary to understand all of that. And so that was my transition into Christendom. I've not looked at this.
You know, with all this transition, you knew him at the time, right? Did any of you thought he fell off his bed or somebody hit him up, or what happened? When he came to you and said that he's no longer going to do the secular, he's saying Jesus, what came into your mind? I want to ask because
separated apart from them was upset. He was upset with them too because
that's what I want to ask.
Must years me I'm telling
right.
And then he keep putting me up and say, "We're so deal with you, man. We're so deal. Hold on, man. We're so reach you, man. We're so reach you to produce your thing and radio." And man, get up on there and say, "Well, I'm done with it."
Furious, he said that to you who have been waiting so long.
That's why I'm taking myself, man. I'm taking myself.
Yes.
I'm taking myself and because man, I admire, you know, and I will carry me to the next level. Then I carry me for much years, you know, and stop that. So now I look it, I have to find it elsewhere. You know, so they went away, you know, went to Texas and up and down and saw rough cut and get involved with rough cut and get involved with in a circle and so, you know, from that time there.
Wow, that's powerful. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to come right back with Mr. Danny, the hitmaker, Mr. Danny Browne, and Mr. Trevor Skatta Burrell. Not Bonnick. I'm sorry, not Burrell. In the studio. Powerful.
Kamar Gallimore Ministry presents Gospel to the World, featuring
I learned my lesson now.
gospel greats like Papa Son, Prodigal Son, Minister Marion Hall, formerly Lady Song, Mr. Gallimore, Shepherd, Carrie Diamond, AG Icon, with MC Princess Nikki B. Gospel to the World, Sunday, August 14th. Doors open at 6 p.m. Showtime is at 7 p.m. at the Royal Palm Beach Cultural Center in Royal Palm Beach, Florida. Tickets are $40 pre-sold and $50 at the door. Purchase tickets online now. GospelToTheWorld.eventbrite.com. For more information, call 561-563-1969. Sponsored by Gallimore Motor Group. Gospel to the World, Sunday, August 14th, an event not to miss.
Caribbean Gospel TV, the official station for Gospel to the World. Wham, you ready?
One man, that's right.
like Saturday night. I can't stop rocking tonight, rocking tonight. It's Saturday night, and I have got somebody. I'm going out on the town, and that's no way for maybe. I'm gonna party down. Oh God, I love this sound. I ain't gonna roll back, oh no. I just gotta let it flow, because we can't stop rocking tonight. Makes me feel like Saturday night. I can't stop rocking tonight, rocking tonight. No, I can't stop rocking tonight. No, no, makes me feel like Saturday night. I can't stop rocking tonight, rocking tonight. Hey, this is in a swing, and every man is doing his own thing. Good vibes are flow, and nobody's ready to go, no. Love is on the floor, and they're crying out for more, more, more. Sweat's dripping, music's playing. I can't stop dancing, that's what I'm saying. I can't stop rocking tonight. Makes me feel like Saturday night. I can't stop rocking tonight, rocking tonight. I can't stop rocking tonight. Makes me feel like Saturday night. I can't stop rocking tonight, rocking tonight. In the morning, and soon the day will be dawning. Session still is rocking, and nobody is leaving. Every child is rented, yet there's no place against the wall. HB somewhere missing, and I think he's doing something more than kissing. Yeah, he can't stop rocking tonight. Makes me feel like Saturday night. I can't stop rocking tonight, rocking tonight. I can't stop rocking tonight. Makes me feel like Saturday night. I can't stop rocking tonight, rocking tonight. Yeah, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. 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 I can't stop tonight. I can't stop tonight, tonight. I can't stop tonight. I can't stop tonight, tonight. No, I can't stop rocking tonight.
Can't stop rocking tonight. I'm back, right back here, your host, Dr. Michael Hunter, with Mr. Danny Browne, and we have Mr. Trevor Skatta Bonnick in the studio. We're gonna switch a little and come to you now, because where we left off before we got off here. You have been waiting so patiently for your break, and then Mr. Browne just come and tell us like, wah, wah, wah.
Much more.
We're done. We're not doing no more of that. What happened to you from then, and how did you now move forward after hearing such a news?
I think, as I said, I got introduced to Boris Gardner, to Paul, who was the lead singer at the time, who was singing with Bloodfire, to Boris. So I was up and down with Boris, and while singing with Boris, the drummer that was used to play in Boris Gardner Happenings, his name was Stewie. He introduced me to a guy, another guy who was playing at Wyndham. I said, go up, I mean, one day for the reverse.
I don't remember. It was a long time, you know. Oh, you know.
For the reverse. No, this was before. It was before Bloodfire, Danny. I think this was before Bloodfire. But what I think, Danny. 87? No. When you tell us you're done, I can't remember.
98, man. 99. Actually, 99 is when we officially wind up. 90 got saved.
Yes, 99. Because that time, I was with, I think, Inner Circle. Rough cut and Inner Circle. I was with Rough Cut and Inner Circle. So what happened was I started to tour extensively with Rough Cut, all over the place. All who is who in dancehall. We have played for, as Danny saying, work with our only for the artists. Them I had to back at most of the people who had names them time there. Right. When I started Rough Cut, there was Shabba Patra, Bounty, Ghost and Culture,
Cabra.
All them that was in Spec Shanka and was under that umbrella. And Rough Cut was the band that was backing them. And I was there and we toured extensively all over the world with Shabba and Patra, So, and then another fellow that I met in Texas said Inner Circle wanted somebody to do productions with them. Just laid on some tracks and they asked if I would do it. And I said, yeah, man, sure. And that was like 95, I think it was. 95 when I met Inner Circle. And from then the relationship built. And I've been there ever since, but not been singing lead. Right. Just doing background for them, doing the production thing for them.
And you have traveled, how many countries have you traveled? Tell me. Mr. Danny Browne couldn't give me a number, so maybe you can give me a number to this evening.
My reverse is telling I can tell you where I haven't been.
Okay, right.
And where I've been, that is too much.
Have you ever been to Dubai?
I've been to Dubai.
Wow.
I've never been to India. I have to think hard. I've never been to South Africa. I've been to Africa, a lot of countries in Africa, but never been to South. I've been like 2 hours from South Africa, but never been to South Africa. And I wanted to go to South Africa.
Which nation has received you all and your type of music that you bring the most, that you thought that you felt like you're kings?
Hey, Danny, remember if you did come to Africa with me when Main Street did tour Africa? You didn't get that with me?
He went to them. Yeah, man.
Africa, man. Come on, vibes nice, man. People in Africa are crazy.
Yeah.
Them love reggae dance, man. Love it. But apart from them, Europe is a place where you play the reggae and dance.
I like that video with you and Mr. Danny Browne because you have an American R&B sound. You don't have that Caribbean sound. Listening to your music, I remember that video clearly. I remembered it, and so you have a unique sound.
Well,
how do you come by that sound?
I want to tell you this, separate and apart from all that before. Let's just go back a little bit. Right before, as I said, I met Danny. There was a guy from England who wanted to produce me, and Danny was the first person that played my first record. You remember that, Danny? We go up on Blue Mountain and play that. What that name? Girl Next Door.
Yeah, Music Mountain.
And my bicycle, we up. Yeah, bicycle higher time than I don't remember that, but that song was the first song.
Right.
That was like 83.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you, all the members of Bloodfire played on that track.
Wow.
So that was, established from back then.
And then you move on to Inner Circle as within the production.
Yeah, and then they had their own thing and doing their thing, but sometimes I said they had internal issues,
right.
And they asked me, yeah, can come on a trip here? What do we have about this? What do this? I said, yeah, man, ready, because I was always in the background. Even when they had doing live shows, I would be backstage, have a mic singing backup.
Right.
So I know the songs.
Right.
So it wasn't hard for me to know the songs that I didn't know. So I just didn't say, I said, come along. I said, yeah, man, tour Canada 2000, they were touring. That was my first major event with them. And that was how it started, touring Canada. And after that, they got back the thing together with them singer. And I went back to do Rough Cut thing. And then them said, want me again. I just run in, do my thing, and run out, do my, them say, Skatta, yeah, we don't do this, we can't deal with this back and forth. You have to stay with it. So I just stayed.
It has been working very well for
It was
you.
like 2010, I think it is. Because I'm always been back and forth, in and out.
Which group that they do Bad Boys?
Yeah, in a circle.
In a circle.
Yeah.
Right. What you gonna do?
Yeah.
Must have a lot of money. Danny, you need to make him buy a Bentley, man.
A new BMW. A new BMW.
He's a BMW man. You know.
Yes, man.
BMW. That's black man winning.
Yes, man.
Black man winning.
Yeah, man. Straight. Thank you very much, sir. I'm waiting. Come on. Yes.
Now, so Inner Circle really showed me the rest of the world, starting with Blood Fire. Blood Fire started, give me a little peek, and I said I wanted some more. Inner Circle showed me the rest of the world.
Yeah. As a musical, you're a legend. You're a legend, Mr. Danny Browne, one who we celebrate and we honor. I always believe in celebrating a person when they're alive, not when they're dead. I notice a lot of celebration. A lot of people are speaking great things about Merciless. And one of the things that came to my mind is that, should have been said when he was alive, should have been given a plaque or anything like that. But as a legend, for aspiring artists, and you also as a legend in the music industry, as aspiring artists and producers, what do you have you can give onto them today?
Well, listen. One of the things, and these are my little pet peeves that I'm going to highlight. I believe whatever you do, try and do it excellently. So, if you're a singer, own your craft. Find out as much as you can about your craft, know as much about it, know about your voice, know how to control your voice. If you're a DJ, you need to, I'll tell my artists them, read, because you need information to share with people. We are leaders. What we say to people matter. When you say something go down in history, so it must matter, means that you need information to share, right? So I always tell people, whatever you do it excellently. Work on your craft until you get it. One thing I always do, every artist that come through my camp, them know by the time them finish come through my camp, them know the music industry. I share them everything I said to them all the while, listen, I'm a musician first, up front, as a thing there. As a producer, once in the music industry, I'm a musician first. That's my profession. That means I learn to play music. I can read music. I'm not excellent at it, but I understand the rudiments. You understand? If I have to be thrown in any circumstance, I can pick up my guitar and represent. Right? So that is something you know that first about. And then you practice. You practice the craft also. I tell people again, I tell singers all well. Every time you see Dennis Browne, I remember Dennis Browne was alive. Every time you pass Dennis Browne on the road, he's singing. You see him driving in car, him singing. Bonnie Ruggs, the same thing from Third World. Always singing. And I'm saying that's the best way to develop your craft. And know the business that you're in. You're in the music business. It's not just, forget about the hustle. Because you have a lot of hustlers. But when it comes to the music business, you need to know the business. So all you need to do, take the time out, invest time in learning the business. So the time for me, I've survived the music industry because of, I think it's just diligence. Spending time owning my craft. I can't have, just like my Christianity, I read the book. Nobody can tell me about the book again. Nobody can con me. Says if I read it and I realize something wrong with it, I felt like something wrong with it, I can respond. But then people are telling say, why the Bible this and the Bible that, and they never read it yet. Oh, can you tell me that? Because somebody tell you so and you carry on information. We in the industry, we have a whole heap of false notions. People are saying things that don't go so at all. Totally misguided, and they don't know. So it's all about development. We have to commit ourselves to it, commit yourself to developing in every angle and every aspect of the industry. Until you become a player in the industry, you can be considered a mogul until you have something to contribute to life and music and society.
Tell me something. Do you travel to the US right now?
Say that again?
Do you come to the US?
If I do, yeah, since the pandemic, I've not traveled.
But when you come here, Pathway to Success will love to honor We'd love to really honor you. I mean, a real honor. I know you must have won many back there. But Pathway to Success would love to honor you for your contribution that you have done in music, and used to also, Mr. Trevor Skatta.
I appreciate it.
Pathway to Success, and I'm going to invite you on live set.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you to bring some of your artists, some of those who you've worked with, and we we just have a good time. But that's to honor you both, because I really like Merciless as an artist. And as I said before, the tributes that's going on is great. But one of my things is that I think that, such great men should be honored while they're alive. And we would love to do that for you both. And I want to thank you both for taking time out.
Much appreciated, brother. Because you see, well, a lot of time in our industry, it's about the glamour and the who doing the promotion. And put it this way, you have a lot of, you have producers in the industry, right? And something I've always identified. And if I'm talking too much, tell me, because if you have time. But
you're doing great. You're doing great.
Yeah, you're a king that already, man. It's no you run talking, man.
I want to say what happened. You have a lot of persons in the industry, and I've always said, coming up as a producer, the amount of persons I've worked with as a producer who I wouldn't put myself in the category of some of the name brand producers in Jamaica. I mean, not necessarily be the headline names, but because of recognition from people like yourself, I find myself doing work with some of the greats. I'm a buyer here. Me talk about work with Puff Daddy. I've done remixes with Beyonce. I've done remixes with people like Pitbull, and I've done work with Michael Jackson. Not him personally, but his label. And I've done work with people. And I'm saying the opportunity don't come because of a name. It's because of the work that you put down. And you find foreign people, they understand standard of work. You set at a certain level, and you find these people that is called you. Our folks in Jamaica, they go by popularity. So you have producers out there who can't necessarily go in a first world environment and produce something at that level. I've been producing pop music from Bloodfire days. Those opportunities help me to again hone my craft. So in any situation, somebody wants something. I mean, I remember when I was doing the remix for Beyonce, and I'm saying to myself, and seriously, me a Christian, when I got the call, I'm saying to myself, why them didn't call one of the new producers then? Because them is the thing then. Why them take me out of retirement? So I was a little resistant, saying why? But you know it already. We are human beings,
They call them less.
So I'm saying, what is it? It's amazing to see, all the name brand producers out there. But that can, as you say, it has to do with the quality of work that you do when you get the opportunity to do it. Somebody identify that this person have something that he's not hearing necessarily on the mainstream. But when it comes to the outcome, it's usually very, very strong and and successful. So it's something that I say, we need that right now. We're lacking that in Jamaica bad. We're lacking with collaborations not happening in Jamaica anymore. Every artist picks with every artist. Pure bad mind and who are cut against this artist. Collaboration is something that work. The average song come out of America now. If you look at if you ever get the opportunity to look at the credits, it's all 50 man write the song, the big song we are here now.
Yes, that's true.
One bag of name. Jamaica now, every song is one man name on it. And so him have no quality control, him not everything himself, him not nobody involved in anything. So you understand, so he's just very cagey and it's hurting the industry. And these are the things that creating the environment in Jamaica that it is right now. Everybody wants to be clean.
And do you really believe that that's what's spilling? We see now more beefs in our music industry than unity. You believe that's one of the cause of those things? Young artists not talking to each other. Nobody's uniting. I like what Mr. Browne is about collaboration.
Yeah.
Most of them artists, once them get a little buzz in the street, you can't talk to them again.
Don't.
And them friend fuel them, gas them up and carry news and say, you were, I'm saying, man, I talk about you. You hear that and cause a feud and vibes, build and. So that have to do with it to their friends that they are associated with, gas them up, cause the whole division and the music too.
Right.
But you them need to understand, man. You get an opportunity. So the average you know, him hustle and him make some money and him life start turn around. It's about time you get out of the environment that's influencing you into that bad behavior that you had originally, the suffering and things you go through. Move up, man. Move up mentally, everything. Don't make man tell about rich and switch. Don't listen, man. That is just bad mind again.
Switch.
That's what them used to diminish them, So a man feel like say, him to greener pastures, but he must still try and get with him. The ghetto mentality and all those things that you get over it. Don't be so them want to say. You understand? You come from humble beginnings. That's it. It's your reality. But if you have bad influences, better elevate them. If you don't elevate, get rid of them. Because you need to elevate yourself. Change your environment.
I would ask you a question, Mr. Browning here. Can you see yourself with artists that you have worked with before? One day putting on, maybe I'd really love to do this in West Palm Beach. Yeah, the boys here. Inviting those artists together for one day, have a show, and they perform all these artists that you have worked with, the secular and with the gospel artists. Because are you currently working with any new gospel artists right now? Because I know Yana Moore is here. I know Papa San. I know of a prodigal son was on the stage just I think a month ago, and Gallimore. But who are the new ones? Is there any new talent that you have found that are really producing quality music that uplift the Lord?
Prior to coming out here, I was bemoaning the fact that right now, the gospel artists in Jamaica, majority of them, you have two extremes. You have the ones who want to be like North Americans, which I don't entertain at all because that's not my thing. Me can't bother that. For me, if you're going to sing R&B, go get people who do R&B. I don't do R&B. I can do it, but I don't do. I'm not going to do it. What I do it the best. I'm the best at what I do.
Yeah.
So for me, turn up parrot and try to mimic what people do is not my thing. So you have in Jamaica, you have the extremes, the guys who want to sing praise and worship and want to do the songs like the North Americans or the Europeans. And when they do it not sound right, so they come to me to try to do it. And when I said to them, no, I'm going to do this, it needs to be reggae. This is what I know. That's why I can help you. So you have that extreme, and then you have the ones that know who think them is current, and them trying to be like Vibes Cartel and Popcorn and all of them. And me know that the church will never accept that. It don't work.
Right.
As I say back in the wrong tree, you have a message, you have to know who you're giving your message to. It makes sense you try. You'll get your two friends and what's over and encourage one another. You understand what I say? You need to reach a huge audience. So you have to tweak on some of them part companies. So I've not found in recent times any new art gospel artists. I've gone giving up on looking because I'm so disappointed, Unfortunately.
Well, maybe we can just find you two here.
Those not
Florida here.
No, real. Well, we wait for Skatta get saved, man, because that's the thing we went to, a long time I wait for them,
Well, wait for you to get saved. What you doing?
My wife a pressure me, because she's a 7-day Adventist, I tell her, she pray for me,
Right.
So I tell her, I said, long time me get converted myself. Don't even 1 foot in still, 1 foot inside.
Just get 4 foot in and just make everybody just be a nice
family. You never know what lies down the road, I will still give thanks to the Father each and every day. She just can't more about to faith too, because once you become a Christian, you want to try to keep that family,
right?
In connection. So we try to have that devotion every evening, with the family.
Excellent. I'm proud of Skatta,
Yeah.
As much as he's not necessarily a man like in the kingdom like that, but he's a very, very good person, man. Very, very good person. Very faithful. The man faithful to family and God, I tell you. And that's a very good sign. When this man dedicated to his family, that's a very, very good thing, man. Good honor.
Well, you sound like the apostle. One of the you sound like an apostle. But I would really love to have you here, right here in Florida. And when you're ready, please let us know. Would really love to foot your fear and to have you here because you have such great knowledge and so much to offer the world. There are budding young artists that I know. I have a label. I have a rap label. But there's art. When I sit and listen to you to this evening, I recognize that many of my young artists can profit from your knowledge and your wisdom. And these are artists that are writing positive music. They're not to the gun thing and all that.
Yes.
And so you now love to really work, really work with you both.
Then
Because
then you
yes,
can lecture it, man. And
yes.
can teach you how to become a brilliant artist, in this business. Because I've learned from him over the years. I've watched him to grow to be this great person that he is. So all that you see he achieves over the years. He has worked very hard to gain what he has.
And a very humble man. Both of you are very humble. At short notice to really come on our platform. I'm so honored to have you both on our platform, Pathway to Success. And I'd like to get your information when we get off stage because I would love to do a workshop and have you come in, Mr. Bonnick Skatta, right here also, and really for the young artists, budding artists. I'm sure that will be a success right here in South Florida.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It'll be a pleasure to do it because I believe it. I believe in growth. I celebrate success. When people are successful, I feel motivated. I not want to hide things from artists or entrepreneurs or anybody in the industry, for instance. I mean, I serve in the industry. Jamaica Music Society. I'm the chairman, which is what they call a CMO. It's like a copyright body, and it took a lot of work to even discover the things that aiding our industry. We're collecting money from different places that never existed in Jamaica before. And we're doing work to help to enhance people's careers. Because as I get the knowledge, I have no reason to hold it back. So that is the joy for me. So if you have young artists, young budding producers who need information, I don't have any issues. So I'm willing to come to Florida and share it. No issues with it at all. So just send the invite, bro.
Okay, I will. I want to thank you again, Mr. Danny Browne, genius, what can I say, a legend, and one so I call him the musical professor, chief of staff.
And then write a book to write a book, man.
Need to do a book, but also you can come here. It'll be good to do a documentary on him. Also, to sit and do a documentary. We can do that here. We have the platform right here for that. And for you to interview persons who, your lives you have changed through music and you're helping to climb the ladder and all that stuff. So there's big things. While talking to you both, I'm seeing a bigger picture also, and so looking forward to do these projects and start this year. I'm ready. So we're going to speak to you. Yes.
Let's start, man. It's just a pandemic why I'm kind of reluctant to get on playing with people and them things there. It's my
Well, you can wear a mask now. I've been wearing mine. I'm not taking the vaccine. I'm not taking the vaccine, but I've worn mine in America when I'm jetting across the different states. So I do wear mine. But I'm looking forward to have you, Mr. Skatta.
Yeah, man.
Great having you on.
Yeah, man.
Sure. Also, Mr. Danny Browne. Want to also thank our producer, Mr. DJ Gallimore, and Flavor Shay and Jody Ann for making this possible. a great show, a successful show. And in leaving, anything you want to say to quickly, anything you want to say to all our viewers before they leave, inspire them for the rest of the week.
But for me, I just want to big up Mr. Gallimore, who has been there from day one when we started our journey in gospel. Mr. Gallimore was one of the guys, that came up with us when we started, prodigal son. I have to big him up all the time because, you know, the Main Street camp, that was the core of the camp. And we all came together, and most of them are now successful, which is, you know, so we have to give hats off for them for their giving me the opportunity to serve them and for them to come and know, you know, doing what they are doing, because they're even helping others to know Christ too. And, you know, I just want to say that, you know, there's hope for the generation. And all of us, if we play our little role, just play our little role and see Jamaica transform and become the place where you want to live and raise your family. But until we get that, you know, all of us have the responsibility who know better. We're going to continue to go into like a vicious cycle, you know. So I'm just calling Jamaicans, well-thinking Jamaicans, you know, to just always remember Jamaica in your prayers, in your thoughts, in your actions. Anything you can do to contribute, you know, please do it. And big up Skatta, my brethren for life.
Life, man. Yes, sir. I'm big up my partner in crime.
Yes, please. Yes.
Great, Pinnock. You know?
Pinnock.
Yeah.
Big up Mr. Pinnock.
Yeah, man. Partner in crime. We have a company called Gap Band Production. And we are
What is that?
It's a label. Gap Band Production. You know, we produce, you know, young and upcoming talents.
It's good.
You know, and try to find good acts out there, you know, put them on, you know. So we have a young artist by the name of Jay Martel, putting out, you know, tracks with him. And I'm doing some
What is he, a singer or a
it's
DJ?
it's like a sing J, but it's just like a sing J, right? Like a sing J. So, you know, trying to get him out there, you know. People know him. Young and coming up, you know, trying to boom him, you know, for the big times. And I'm putting out some new material also on the Gap Band label. You know, so just look out.
That's good.
You know.
It's good. Looking forward to have your partner in crime to interview you also.
God bless you, Mr. Dr. Hunter.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Your Excellency. Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
Bless up, bro. Yeah, we are brothers here.
And in closing, I want to say this, inspire for highest heights. Believe in yourself. And one day, you'll become a success story like these two legends right here. Have a great week from us here at Pathway to Success. Thank you so much.